EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in at Ticket Weeknights, Raff's Good Take on Sports. You guys are welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. That is the Starting Heyman text line. Facebook, YouTube, Channel 961. Correct the banner there. This is no longer Big Red Birdies. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports. Shout out to Big Red Birdies, though. Arden Lockheim did a great job. She was just solo tonight, without her co-partner, Mackenzie Bream. But that show is going to be great. She's got another show called Arden's Angle that goes on from the same time, 8 to 9 on Thursday. She will not be here this week, Thursday. She's going to go home, celebrate the New Year's and Christmas. But I'm just telling people, keep an eye on Ticket Weeknights. We got a lot of great content coming here. And Raff's a nightly part of it, so of course it's great content. Raff, how's it going on the Tuesday?
Going pretty good. I heard there was a heat wave there in Lincoln today, so that's very nice to hear.
Over and repeat that. I had the tab muted, so that's on me. I missed the first part.
No, I was just saying there's a bit of a heat wave there in Lincoln I heard today, so that was good to hear. So they hit 60 today. Is that what I saw?
55, I think is what it topped out at. But yeah, I'm wearing shorts again. I've worn shorts Monday and now Tuesday. I'm going for Wednesday and Thursday.
That's very nice, especially being the last couple weeks of 2025. Man, this year flew by. It was a quick
I get too many bad looks of people. I'll tell you what, I wear these athletic shorts. I got people like Nick Wyman giving me a hard time. Listen, I'm not going to be wearing shorts when we get to February. Like, let me enjoy the few opportunities I have left to wear just some nice shorts, enjoy some nice weather, because we're going to get to February, and that's when it hits January, February. Like, don't worry, I won't be wearing shorts then, but let me just enjoy the 50-degree weather. We pretty much got it all week, so don't look at me as some low-class Midwesterner because I'm wearing shorts in the winter. If it's nice enough, I'm going to whip them out. That's my hot take.
That's classic. I during the day in the mornings I do my my little lifting people around the world, and I have a guy here in Alabama, giving him a few rides, and his dream is to move to Iowa. And today he asked me, "So what is the weather like in March? It'll be pretty warm there, right?" And I didn't have the heart to tell him that, dude, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. But
Yeah.
I smile and go, "Oh yeah, it should be warming up a little bit in March." But then I'm in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, you don't want to leave Alabama, but poor kid doesn't know what he's in for.
From Alabama to Nebraska, I'd understand it, but Alabama to Iowa is just disgusting behavior.
Yeah, I don't. I every time he's so excited, he's like, "I'm gonna move to Des Moines. It's gonna be great." I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, March, you'll see the ice starting to melt. It's not quite going to be nice and warm and sunshine. No, you just start hitting the March is a defrost, and April, you never even know. I'll never forget. It was my 21st birthday, Raff. I turned 21, and we got hit by a blizzard of blizzards in what would that have been? 2018? Did I turn legal in high school? No, it would have been after that. I was definitely not in high school. I had to do the years. I was the oldest in the class, so I had to do the math there.
Yeah. I was like, how many grades did you get held back? What's going on here?
Well, the real story is I was too smart for preschool. So I skipped preschool. And then I was just riding around in the tractor with my dad out in the farm. And then they plugged me into kindergarten. And then I was the oldest by like a month. I was born in April. Those April months are like the youngest in the class, or are you the oldest? Like, Raff, do you remember who the oldest person in your class was?
The oldest person in my class.
Yeah, there's like
I don't
30.
remember.
Me, so
I remember I was one of the younger kids because I was born May 24th. So that makes sense. I was late. So I was definitely one of the younger ones. I'm trying to remember who the older kids were.
It's usually those spring birthdays. You're going to get the old heads and the young heads because they're in that time span where you decide, like, do we put them in now or do we put them in the next year?
Yeah.
That's usually how that runs down.
Well, it's crazy too now. Like parents really look into that, like, holding a kid back. And, a lot of it has to do with sports, like, okay, if we hold them back another year, give them more time to mature, give them, so it's interesting to see what lengths parents will go to now, kind of from that sports angle to be like, yeah, that's holding back a year. And then you even got, a lot of kids that leave after their junior year, or they get enough credits where they're able to leave early and go to college early. And that's kind of unheard of. If you rewind it, back 25, 30 years, the talk of, leaving before your senior year would be kind of unheard of. In a way, high school sports a little bit's kind of lost its luster. You haven't heard as much of it, people leaving, after their junior year, but I guess
it happens. I mean, it definitely happens. Carter Nelson had the opportunity, but he finished it out at Ainsworth.
Yeah.
And that was probably a really big deal for Ainsworth because he was a great track athlete. So they had him for the spring, but he was one of those people who I think he had the option to just go down to UNL and skip out on the end of his high school career. And he chose not to. I don't blame any athlete for choosing either or, but it definitely is a different version of the high school sports that we haven't seen before.
And a lot of it's changing. Like I look at the NFL, for instance, like for a while there, if you stayed if you were like a fifth year, sixth year senior, you were kind of looked down upon a little bit because it's like, oh, you're already like 23, 24 years old. But now a lot of NFL teams, like you look at Bo Nix, for instance, like he's one of your older second year players in the NFL. But it's like, but he has so much experience that he's had, those prior, 6 years that he spent in college. So it's interesting to see how the age thing, like I'd be curious to look at NFL, like what the scouts and scouting departments, what kind of scale they put on age. Like, is there a rookie that do they get docked, like, oh, he's going to be a rookie, but he's going to be 24. Is that, a check mark against you, or is it looked at as, well, he's got a lot of experience? And it'd be fun to look at different teams and to see, how they look at that age thing. And because you've got to think, if you have a guy coming out and he's only like 19 years old, you're like, okay, well, that's, a bonus almost like 4 years. Because that was like crazy with like Justin Herbert. There was guys that coming out of college that played, while he was there, and he's already in like his fifth year of, playing in the NFL. It's crazy.
Yeah, like in the college level, you don't care. Like the older they are, the more benefit it is. But in the NFL, like I don't know because it wouldn't make sense for a guy like Tyler Shuck to get drafted as high as he did because he was really old. That could have been the Saints just being pulling a wild card going for him.
Yep.
But I thought that would hurt him a lot in that draft, and it didn't at all. But actually, one of the biggest surprises was him because I think he was like 25, maybe even old. He was old.
Well, I felt like
that draft.
Was he? I was trying to think if he was the one that was around, like when Justin Herbert was in school, or I forgot which one it was. That
I think that was Tyler Shuck. Yeah, was the Justin Herbert.
I mean, that's incredible. Being that Justin Herbert. I mean, it feels like he's already, a seasoned vet, and here you got Tyler Shuck that's just a rookie coming in. It's wild, and you got it. And I'd just, like I said before, I'd just like to see what scouting departments do, how they look at that, what the age factor is, and if that is, something that they look at. I would assume it is, being that all the crazy stuff that they look at in the combine, I would have to think that age and where they fit in would definitely be something they look at.
Yeah, quarterback's tough. I think people just go on impulse a lot. I think that's what Tyler Shuck was. Like the age probably played a factor, but not big enough for someone to have a hunch and just go ahead and pull the trigger. It's such a hard spot to figure out. And at quarterback, I mean, you can live a long career at quarterback, even if you come in late, as opposed to being some of these other positions where if you come in old, there's a lot of other people that.
Well, think about
there's a disadvantage because you're more banged up and more prone to injury.
Think about running back. Like, say running back, you get to be 29, you're looked at, a fossil. I mean, like Ezekiel Elliott, for instance, he's 29 and his career was pretty much wrapped up. And now you have a back coming out like 23, 24. You're thinking to yourself, well, maybe 4 years, so it's crazy like that.
Yeah, they got the Coyote saying, I'm sure they rely on a million analytics and data sets, but that still can't account for that human element. And I think that's where Tyler Shuck gets drafted. The human element, someone had a hunch, whether they're right or wrong. I think it looks like they might be wrong. It's what's going to sell those guys. I mean, it's why that we took Justin Fields over the other options out there on the field. You got a pulse. You think he's the best athlete for your team. Quarterback's impossible to figure out. But the running backs, to your point, like, yeah, if you're old coming out of college, say you're a 25-year-old running back, I think you're going to slide a lot more in the draft. Just knowing that they already have, I think it's a little over 3 years or under 3 years is their average NFL career. Like, they're going to be stingy on drafting those guys. But at the end of the day, running backs are getting drafted a lot later now. So maybe it works out that you take the older running back because it's going to be a late round pick anyways.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, going back to analytics, man, that's another thing. It's just like sometimes I get fed up with the analytics. It's like you have your head coach that's getting paid millions of dollars. It's like, make a decision, go with what your feeling is. Nothing makes me happier when I hear a coach say, well, the analytics said to do this, but I had a feeling and we went the other way. And it's just, that makes me feel kind of good inside. Like there's still that human element to sports that everybody gets so locked into, like, oh my goodness, you've got to punt because the analytics says so. It's like, I get so tired of that sometimes. It's like, let that human element. I mean, that's what the greatness of sports. And sometimes you just get so lost in the analytics, you forget about the human side of it.
Yeah, me and DP talked about it. It would have been a while ago now, but the analytics drive me crazy. Go all the way back to that Penn State game. At some point, stop looking at the analytics. Well, the analytics say in these situations, you should do this. Yeah. Okay, what has our team done as of late, and what is the current situation of the game? Toss the freaking global analytics out the window because we're just looking at this one game right now. And versus Penn State, goal line situation. I get it. You feel like you need to score. How many times have you been stuffed at the goal line? all year, Houston Christian stuffed us with like inches to go. And we didn't solve the problem all year. We get to Penn State. What do? We can get it against these guys, though. No, of course we can't. We don't get it. We get stuffed, 0 points. Take the 3 points.
Yep.
I see it happen all the time. It happens in the NFL. That's why my Bears, I think, are having a lot of success because analytics on a lot of these plays would say punt the ball. you're in poor situation, or go for it. You only got a couple of yards. Everyone goes for it on fourth down now. Ben Johnson, opposite of Campbell, will punt. We'll play possession of the field. We'll play a little bit of Iowa Hawkeye ball. And that's how those games where, you want to call the Bears fraudulent, it's fine, whatever. But all those close games that they came out on top of, they never got too greedy. They didn't go for it on unnecessary downs. They played the entirety of the game and trusted that they were the better team, and they would come out on top if they would not take unnecessary risk. And it's worked out to a pretty good record. It drives me crazy, Raff. Sorry to kind of go on a tangent.
Well,
I'm with you.
I just have those times where it's like a coach goes, I mean, the coach is getting paid like, a lot of money to make decisions. That's why you hire the coach. And then they do something. It's like, well, analytics says you should have did that. And it's just like, I'm like, oh man, it gets sickening at times where I'm just like, too much is put into the analytics side of it. I understand, looking at it and seeing what the trends are from the analytics perspective. Then, like when a team, how much does a team pass? 75% of the time to a run. Those analytics I get, but when you're like taking away like the human part of selecting, like you said, like analytics say, well, you should go for it down there. But like you talked about, well, what does your team do? And I know you have, but there's also analytics for that, where probably there was something saying like, probably should kick a field goal here, but I like it when the coach makes the decision and they don't always refer back to, well, analytics says we should have that we're supposed to do this. I hate that when they say that. It's annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you have the lead or not? You don't have the lead, take the field goal. Go get the lead. There's an opportunity. You don't have to risk it. You have a good opportunity for the field goal. I know Nebraska football did it a few times this year as well, but yeah, I mean, it's gotten to a point where coaches, just to agree with you real quick, they will look to the side. What should we do? You are getting paid the money to decide, not the analytic team. You can use that as a trend, but trends don't always suit you well. There's a lot of fashion trends, Raff, that I could have hopped in on, and I would have looked ridiculous because it doesn't fit me. Same thing with analytics. Like, you can't just lock in solely on, we got to follow the trends. In-game situation matters.
Well, too, speaking of like on Nebraska, for instance, what always annoying me a little bit too was here one year you're doing a series on chasing three, then you're doing press conference after press conference saying how the Big Ten is, all these games come down to 3 points. Big Ten plays close there, and then you have an opportunity for 3 points and you don't take it, and it's like, well, what are
chasing 7, not 3, I guess.
Yeah, it's always been one of those things where I just kind of scratch my head, where I'm like, here, you've talked about how all these games come down to the end. You're telling the fan base that there's no blowouts, there's no winning by 14, 21 points. They all come down to the end. The final possession, and then you have an opportunity for 3 points and you're like, not to take it. And you're like, why aren't you kind of going against everything you're talking about by leaving points out there? So that was one of my frustrations. But then again, we score some of those possessions, touchdowns, and then, you're looked at as the hero. But I guess that is the fun of being a coach, at any level, college, pro, high school, midget football, or I guess probably don't call it midget football anymore. Little league football. Sorry. Back in the 80s, it was referred to as that. So I cannot
I don't know what the rules are around that anymore, Raff. I couldn't tell you. That's how it was when I was around.
Because in the 80s, we also had the Redskins, so so I can't be in trouble for what it was.
The old man, Raff. Times have changed. You can't be talking like that anymore.
Little league football. Sorry, my bad.
It's fine. I couldn't tell you what the parameters are around that anymore. I just keep out of my dictionary. I'm like, whatever. It doesn't really affect me all that much. But yeah, I mean, go back to Ohio State, Indiana, to double down on the analytics conversation. Ohio State, they're in field goal range. What do? They go for it. They don't get it. Okay, well, now the game's still 10-13. Indiana's got the lead. Yeah. You get another opportunity. But now the pressure is way different. Now the pressure isn't an opportunity to kick the field goal to win the game. If you would have kicked the first one, it's to kick the field goal to stay in the game. And he misses it. And now you get the worst case scenario. You just don't even get another chance. You lose. Indiana's the Big Ten champions. They take the 1 seed. You take the 2 seed. Yep. But if you just would have kicked that first one, the chances of that second one going in are probably a lot higher. Then there isn't nearly as much pressure on the kicker now on that. Well, even if I miss, we got an opportunity to go and win this thing. And then it came down to he has to make the kick for them to have the opportunity to win. I mean, again, that's where all this stuff just kind of blows my mind. All the analytics for Ohio State would say, go for it on fourth down. Our offense is good enough, blah, blah, blah. Just looking at Ohio State, not everybody else. But in that game, Indiana's defense was legit. And it was from the first quarter all the way through the end. You shouldn't have had, I think, nearly as much confidence that the right decision was to go for it because Indiana was handling you all day long. So throw everything else out the window on what the analytics say. Indiana had your number on defense, and you chose to test them, and you failed. And then you missed the kick, and you lost the game. Analytics.
Speaking of that, too, another thing that really frustrates me is teams that go for two when they're down 2 scores and they go for 2 right away. I've never understood that. I think I would much rather say you're down 15, you score a touchdown. You know how they go for 2 to begin with, but if you miss that, then you're down by 9. So then you're basically at your 2 scores out of it. I've always been one, if you're down 15, score your first touchdown, kick the extra point, you're down 8, and then if you score again, then go for 2. I feel like you kind of take. I never understand why you go for. I always want to stay within that 1 score, but that's another analytic thing that for me, if I'm the head coach, I'm kicking the extra point, getting it to 8, and then going touchdown, 2-point conversion to tie it at the end instead of going for 2 right away and then missing it. But to each
I
their
don't know
own.
what the math says on that. I've never understood that either. I normally would just take the extra point now, and then if we get the second touchdown, I like my momentum in that one to go ahead and go for the 2-point conversion. There's still a lot of work done if you go for it right away. Maybe the math says that's the right move. I can understand it if you're going out there in a formation just to see what they do and you really like what you see. So it's like, no, we're going to go for it now. But that's about it. Otherwise, I'm in the same boat. I couldn't tell you what the math says on that one. But yeah, I just give me the extra point. If we happen to get another touchdown and we're in that situation, that means the other team's on its heels and we're the ones with all the momentum. So I like my chances better there than after the first touchdown.
And I also like changing onside kicks. I think they need to just get rid of onside kicks. I think if the team elects to go for it, and this can be at any time during the game, after they score a touchdown, instead of an onside kick, they get like 4th and 15. If they get the 15 yards, they possess the ball wherever after that play. But if they don't, if they say have an incomplete pass, then the opposing team gets the ball at the 25 going in. And so then that kind of keeps that risk element up. So you won't see a lot of teams going for the onside. You'd have to rename it or whatever. But I'm so tired of the onside kick. They've watered it down so much. And to get an onside kick, it's pretty much impossible. So I want them to go to like that like a 4th and 15 or a 4th and 20 or something like that. And then if you get the 20 yards, you have possession of the ball wherever after the 20 yards, and then it goes the other way around. And, do it from like 25. So that's my thoughts.
I'll zag on that. I keep the onside kick. It should be a miracle that you pull it off. It should be. You don't have possession. You just gave it up. You scored. The way the game football works, it's a miracle if you get that thing back. It should be an incredibly difficult thing to execute an onside kick. I think the returning team should have all the favor in that one. And you still get it. And when you do get it, it creates a crazy atmosphere. But I don't. I'm a little against that one. The onside kick.
4th and 20. How about 4th and 20?
No. Stop trying to ruin the kicking game. The college football's got to hold on to it. The NFL ruined it.
I was going to say the NFL, the kicking game's already ruined. That's still the craziest thing that I guess they've prevented their injuries, but it's just like you wanted more returns, but then I was just like, okay, whatever. But I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I want a new onside kick. I want a 4th down and like 25 or 4th and 20 or
too much.
Something that'd be almost like a miracle, a 4th and 20 and getting, 21 yards. I think that would be.
I think that's still easier than getting an onside kick, though. significantly
Well,
easier.
it'd be a little bit easier, but
Yeah.
I still think these should have more of a chance because right now onside kicks, they have it where you can't, stack 10 guys on one side of the field. You can only have 5 on one side, 5 on the other. I don't know. I think I want something more exciting. But then again, I guess then the other team converts like 3, 4th, and 20s, and then you're just like, oh, what happened? But I guess if they change the kickoff game, they could change the onside kick rule.
I mean, it's high risk, really high risk, but high reward. I looked it up because I was curious. So it's about, in the past 5 years, they got it anywhere between 6 to 20%. 20%, the absolute peak it hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very low. At best case scenario, you're getting it 1 out of every 5 times.
I wonder what
I think that's how it should be.
I wonder what the conversion rate of 4th and 20s are.
I wonder if they have it.
Or even what the conversion rate of 3rd and 20 is, just to see what 3rd and 20, 4th and 20, what kind of
3rd and 20 would be a better one.
What the percentile is, if it's 30%, 25%.
10 to 20%. So you kind of hit the same ceiling.
Yep.
But you got a higher floor.
I like it. 4th and 20.
Raff, stop. You're ruining football.
I am making football more exciting. Onside kick must change. 4th and 20.
I mean, we're going to see more changes. If that's the thing they do to it, I will not be a fan. Bring back the old kickoff in the NFL and leave the college football kicking game alone. That's where I stand. Maybe you can put some more guys on the side that goes for the ball. If that helps you out, I can maybe negotiate with you there. But I'm surprised to hear this. The onside kick is electric. It's exciting. There's a low chance, but the few times it hits, it's like ecstasy. I mean, it's pandemonium.
Well, I think 4th and 20 would be fun too, because they still would have to go down the field and score. So it's not like, just getting the 4th and 20 puts them back in the game. They just retain possession of the ball. And I think that'd be an exciting play. Plus the reward for the defense is if they throw an incomplete pass or hold them short of the 20 yards, you take over the ball. So you have a chance, 4th
That's
and
the same
20.
as the onside kick, though. The defense gets the same opportunity. If they get it, the offense will.
Yeah, they have pretty good field position. 4th and 20. Sorry, Harrison. 4th and 20.
It's all right. We can't agree all the time. We got to zag every once in a while. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll get some more of your comments on the other side. You guys are welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side.
The holidays are here, and there's every reason to make Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina part of your plans. Are you heading to a Nebraska basketball game? Stop at Tipsy Tina's before or after for delicious tacos. Meeting friends for drinks for an ugly sweater get-together? Enjoy Tipsy Tina's variety of margaritas. And if you're not sure about what to get for a gift this year, Tipsy Tina's gift cards are always a great idea. Don't forget about the event space at Salt next door to Tipsy Tina's, all of them located in the Haymarket at 8th and Q.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, Call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through December at Landmark Implement, choose from a 12-month waiver on model year 2023 through 2025 John Deere 6 through 9 series tractors, sprayers, and combines. Or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.35% for another 36 months. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
When schools thrive, neighborhoods shine. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Public education builds more than just knowledge, it builds community. Support your local public school and watch your whole town grow stronger. Invest in education today, and you're investing in everyone's tomorrow. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try one of their delicious breakfast sandwiches or grilled breakfast burritos. Don't forget to snag a gift card for stocking stuffers and bring your family in from out of town. With 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward, Bagels and Joe.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in Raff's Good Take on Sports, segment number 2. Plenty of things left to talk about here on a beautiful Tuesday, at least here in the capital city, December 16th, 9:30 p.m. All right, Chris Raff, the floor is yours. Where do you want to go?
Well, we kind of had some surprising news come out tonight. Mm-hmm. The undefeated, undisputed pound-for-pound champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, announced his retirement. I was kind of surprised, to say the least.
I wasn't terribly surprised. I wondered. I mean, he kind of said it himself. Who's left to fight? He's got people that want rematches with him. But I mean, does he need him? He's 42-0. He gave the belt away already. He said the WBC, go screw yourself. Everyone knows I'm the best. And that's kind of what I really wondered. Like, is he just done?
Well, I get it from a to people to fight standpoint, but I was kind of thinking that there was still a few more paydays in there for him, because remember when he first started his career and a long way through his career, he wasn't getting the huge paydays, and now he's kind of set himself up for to where there could have been a few more, very lucrative paydays to really, take him to that upper stratosphere from a money standpoint. And plus, I am stunned that there was never a Terrence Bud Crawford fight at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, under the lights on a summer's night. I thought for sure if there was anything in Terrence Bud Crawford's career that would come to fruition, I thought for sure that he would fight at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, if there was one thing left to do, that'd be it. I think he wanted to do it. We definitely would have gone to it if there was a fight there. That'd be electric. I kind of bummed out that won't happen anymore unless something changes. But yeah, I mean, we missed out on that one. But I'll give his quotes on it for everyone wondering what he had to say. He put it on his own YouTube. He said, quote, and this is verbatim, "I'm stepping away from the competition, not because I'm done fighting, but because I've won a different kind of battle, the one where you walk away on your own terms." And that's the sentence where I was like, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, we see it with great athletes in all sports, but especially in boxing and UFC, it is hard to watch the greats leave at the wrong time, leave past their exit. It's not the way you want to remember legends. And that is what Terrence Crawford currently is.
Yeah, I'm also curious too. It's like we've seen a lot of boxers that have announced their retirement, and we've seen them step back into the ring. I wonder, what is this a 100% door is closed, never to step back into the ring again? Or is this one of those, say in a year and a half, some guy, steps up and starts making challenges? Would he step back into the ring, or was there anything, or will he try to go like that route of like the Floyd Mayweather and, fight exhibitions, maybe an exhibition match at Memorial Stadium? I just feel like he's such at a point in his career. Like, I know that the age, is kind of in boxer years, is getting up there, but it seems like he's fighting the best, the best that he ever has. It's almost like, oh, you got a little bit left. You sure, and like I said, there's definitely some lucrative money matches, out there for him that, even like going up against a Manny Pacquiao or something like that. I mean, I know it's kind of past his time, but still just a chance to, like I said, get to that, more money, more problems, I guess.
Yeah, well, or he runs out of money and comes back. I don't know what his finances are. I'm sure he's doing all right, but I mean, I think that's why Floyd Mayweather kind of came back, right? He had some debts to clear up, that he needed some money. So different story in some of these cases, but I don't know. I mean, what could happen? Dream case scenario is like a couple of years down the road, you get some new hotshot boxer who's undefeated, who's chirping at who's chirping at Terrence Bud Crawford, and Bud Crawford's like, "If you really want to fight me, you do it in my turf, which is Memorial Stadium." That's dream case scenario where, an upcomer says, "I want to take down Crawford," and I'm calling him out, and then Crawford says, "We're going to do it on my terms," since, I already said, screw the WBC. And I think the other ones would work with him, the other fighting organizations, but I don't know how that could work if he'd be able to pull that off. That's just my dream, Raff, to see him in Memorial Stadium box.
That's what I thought. So do you think, say he's done 100%, career completed tonight, 42-0, 5-division champion, 3-division undisputed champion, is he on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest boxers ever?
This would be a good question for my dad when boxing was really popular. You would know more as well. I think he is. Now, you could probably give some boxers of the past that may have the potential to kick him off.
Yeah, that's I was kind of thinking about it tonight.
Boxers.
It's like sitting at 42-0, 5 divisions. I would think that, it's getting, Mount Rushmore's getting kind of crowded up there because, everybody has, like Muhammad Ali up there. He's a given. And then, some people, still say Tyson in his, in his prime.
You put Floyd up there, Floyd Mayweather?
I think you put Floyd, but could say Floyd is like the number 4 on there. You could almost take Terrence Bud Crawford and replace him with Terrence, I would think, just for the fact of the 5-division champion and retiring undefeated. But I think you got to have them both. You'd have them both up there, I would think. But I would like to see some boxing historians. If there's any boxing historians listening tonight, text in your Mount Rushmore. You can only have 4 because you got, the great Rocky Marciano. I believe he retired, undefeated. So Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali,
Sugar Ray.
Maybe sometimes Sugar Ray, just the comebacks that he had after defeat. So
He's a first-time champ as well.
Yes, you've got
some of the names. Manny, these are just some of the names. This isn't a concise list, but they got Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, Manny Pacquiao, Henry Armstrong, because he held world titles in 3 divisions all at the same time. So I can understand some argument there. Mike Tyson, obviously, and then they do have Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I think, Terrence Bud Crawford's in that conversation at the very
definitely. Yeah, I love, these are the best discussions, the ones that, that there's so many different angles that you can take, because you look at the old fighters like the Rocky Marcianos of the world, and the Muhammad Ali's, but then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, that's 2 on the pedestal right there, but then you forget Sugar Ray Robinson. You're like, okay, well, that's 3, only got 1 left. So would you take Terrence Bud Crawford, or would you take Floyd Money Mayweather? So it's these are discussions they will last forever, because just what they've done in their careers. But it's always fun to have that talk and to hear other people's perspectives and views and why they think, because even you look at Mike Tyson, for what he did for the fight game, the 80s when Mike Tyson fought, they're electric. I've never seen anything like it since. That's going on 35 years later, and nothing like a Mike Tyson fight in the 80s has ever compared to what it was happening when he fought. So
go ahead.
Oh no, continue.
Well, I was gonna say, on the same side here, we got off of YouTube, Coyote chiming in saying Leon Sphinx says he remembers him working at the YMCA in Columbus. That's back in my time. Leon Sphinx would have been, what era was that?
He would have been in the
He
70s.
died in 2021. He was born in 53. Yep. So yeah, probably in those 70s.
He defeated Muhammad Ali.
Yep. So he's got a contender. I don't think he's up there. I could be wrong, and the historians can tell me off. But on the article that listed off the Mount Rushmore candidates, they do have in there, and they have to update it, Terrence Crawford as a modern contender, along with Canelo Alvarez. Well, we saw the head-to-head between those two. So I think that jumps it. But there is a recognition already, even though this was written before his career was over, that he is a modern contender to be in that as the best pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and I guess that, Canelo, he would be right up there. But, being now that he's got a head-to-head victory over him, then in some polls, it doesn't matter if you have head-to-head victory, but in some it does. So you would have to think that Crawford would probably be on that Mount Rushmore.
And I think he jumps Floyd Mayweather too. Floyd Mayweather is an incredible boxer, but he only boxed really one style his entire career, which was we'll play all the rounds and I'll win on points and I'll just make you miss, which is, a great technique. He's one of the best. He's one of the best defenses you've ever seen in boxing. It's not throwing any shade, but what Crawford was doing was, especially towards the end of his career, you're seeing him be on the wrong end of the betting odds, where people are saying, well, he can't do this, X, Y, and Z. This is against his favor. And he just kept putting, grooves to his game or showing those grooves that maybe he always had. And I think that Canelo Alvarez fight was kind of the cherry on top, where everyone was saying, oh, maybe that weight, Canelo Alvarez is going to have such a power advantage. And then Crawford rocks him. And then all of a sudden you see Canelo Alvarez kind of respect the power a little bit. And I think it might've been that 3rd or 5th round where Crawford really went in and started teeing off. Crawford's fought a bunch of different styles and he's won in a bunch of different styles. He's gotten all the way through the match. He's gotten some KOs. He's just more versatile. So I'd bump him over Floyd, but again, it's not any shade to Floyd in the way he boxed. It worked for him. He went undefeated, but this is the Mount Rushmore. So you got to get nitpicky.
It's going to be interesting too over the next, 5 to 10 years to see if there'll be another really great boxer come from Omaha, because usually, when the young kids that see it around that, in Omaha, you have that young kid that's patterns themselves kind of after, Bud Crawford and being around Bud Crawford, because they definitely are out and about, in the community, and to see if there'll be another great boxer that arises from Omaha here in the next 5 to 10 years.
I hope so. I mean, the road's been paved for another elite boxer to come out of there. It's a great camp. I know Des Moines Pearson actually talked to some of those guys down there at that camp. So I'd be curious to wonder what he thinks about it. I'll definitely talk to him on the next hour. But, wrap this one up. We got off of YouTube again. The guy who chimed in about Sphinx. He said, yeah, Sphinx didn't have a lot of marbles left. And in his older years, struggled with words and thoughts. Hard to see that happen to a person from sports. And again, that's where with this decision from Terrence Bud Crawford, I'm totally okay with it. Like, selfishly, I want a Memorial Stadium match, but you just never know. It's like that one fight where they're not prepared or they're just past their prime and they're heading into again, you're the champ, you're the best you're going to get the best fight. And they're going to be rounds where they're going to really push their limits to try to take you down. And how old is Crawford now?
38.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 38, and that's not counting, the 42 matches, but all the sparring, the training camps, all that goes into it. That is an insane amount of wear and tear. So even if it's not his head, if he wants his body to feel good, there's that. Boxing's just a brutal sport, like UFC, like wrestling. Congratulations to Terrence Bud Crawford for an awesome career. I got no issues with him retiring. He accomplished just about everything he possibly could have. Selfishly, like you and me both want, I just want a Memorial Stadium match. But cards didn't fall that way. They fell right everywhere else, though, on a phenomenal 42-0 career.
Yep, definitely. So I hope I give him maybe a 1 or 2 year window if he decides to return. But after those 1 or 2 years in, I hope he keeps that door shut completely, no matter what arises, and he just remains undefeated, remains in the talk of one of the greatest ever to do it. So that'd be my advice to him.
Well, maybe he'll pull a Philip Rivers, come back at 44.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. But man, I'll tell you what. Say he comes back in 6 years and wins. I mean, that would be. Then he would definitely go. I think probably go number one on. It's crazy. It's like so much to lose by taking time off and coming back, but then so much legendary status you gain more by doing something like that.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I don't know. You get to that point where you just got to go bring out a guy out of nowhere, and I think that's the issue. He's just running out of fighters. He needed another elite contender alongside with him, and he ran through them all. So he's sitting there on top by himself. Said, "Can't go any higher. I'm the champ. Take your belt back. I'm not paying these damn fines. See you later." So, like I said, wonderful career. We'll throw it to break here. We got Raff's good take on life on the other side. So don't go anywhere. We'll wrap up with that, and then we'll switch things over to the Don't Punt Hour with Des Moines Pearson right here, 93.7 The Ticket.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Do you want boots that actually feel good on your feet? Meindl delivers premium German-engineered comfort, brought to you right here from Nebraska. Built tough for trails, fields, and everyday wear, and backed by Meindl's Comfort Promise, so you can try them on with confidence. Use promo code THETICKET at MeindlUSA.com, spelled MEINDL, for free shipping. That's MeindlUSA.com. Meindl, comfort you have to feel to believe.
I'm Terrell Farley, host of Bach in the Black Shirt Show at
1 to 3 weekdays. And my favorite thing to do, see, or go to in downtown Lincoln is the food, because they have great selections of food, and Buzzard Billy's with the great alligator they have down there.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Oh, this menu is a masterpiece, guaranteed to deliver no matter how big the challenge.
This is the worst party ever.
Knock, knock. I brought chicken fingers.
Raising Cane's! The party is saved!
Let's go! Peter. Mr. Billingsley.
Sorry, got a little lost in the sauce there. Celebrate the holidays with a classic, Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in. Final segment, Raff's Good Take on Sports on a fine Tuesday, a fine week here in the capital city with everything going on. The basketball teams are great. The volleyball team wrapped up a phenomenal season. Unfortunately, they do take a loss, but everything else chipping along pretty well here in the capital city. All right, Raff, what is your good take on Tuesday, December 16th?
All right, everybody. Today's Ralph's Good Take goes out to the Belmont Community Center and the Lincoln Southwest girls basketball team. They had their community experience day yesterday. It's been going on for 10 plus years. It's just always so cool to see like the high school teams, Lincoln Southwest, you know, the girls team going out there, meeting with the little kids in the community. That's where the dream first starts for a lot of young kids, is when they meet, you know, somebody just in that high school uniform and being like, yeah, I want to be like them someday. So big shout out to the Belmont Community Center and the Lincoln Southwest girls basketball team for such a cool event. You guys are Ralph's Good Take.
Well said. I will give mine out. I'm going to keep it on sports here. I want to shout out the Husker wrestling program. They got an awesome opportunity this weekend. It starts Friday with North Carolina, but then Sunday they get Oklahoma State. back here at home. And they were at the national duels down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They lost to Ohio State, had a bunch of dudes get hurt throughout that thing. And then they were, just scrapping to find dudes that were able, moving guys in weight classes that were just, it was tough to deal with such an injured roster. And they played went against a very, very good Oklahoma State team that was fully healthy. So they'll have all those same faces that they lost to in Oklahoma State, but this Nebraska roster will be healthy. We'll have AJ Ferrari back, should have him back. Chance Lamer, I think he should be back as well for that Sunday, or hopefully his eligibility should be good. That should be a lot of fun. So Friday, 7 p.m., but then Sunday, 1 p.m. versus Oklahoma State. If you have not gone to a wrestling match, I just highly encourage it, especially, the best option is both, but if you can only go to one, Oklahoma State's going to be a really big one for Nebraska, and it sets up a gauntlet. After Oklahoma State, it's UNI. Purdue, they don't necessarily have a ton of people that are ranked high or anything, but then it's Minnesota, Iowa, Ohio State, and we just found out Ohio State's legit this year, maybe even good enough to battle Penn State. We'll see what it looks like as the year goes down the road, but then you do get Penn State, and that is on the road. So this stretch right here, it starts this weekend with Oklahoma State, UNI, a little bit of break Purdue, then Minnesota, Iowa, Ohio State, Penn State. That's a gauntlet. That's what you call Big Ten wrestling right there. And this is going to be a huge weekend to set those guys up for success. We had Mark Manning in here today, and Ridge Lovett, national champion, obviously the head coach, Mark Manning. Mark Manning does a good job getting you fired up. I just listened and talk about it. I was like, yeah, let's go, BTA, as the young kids say today. Like, I'm looking forward to it and trying to get a little get back on Oklahoma State and make a statement here in this wrestling program that Mark Manning's done such a good job putting together.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. That household must be crazy because Carrie, his wife, she is inspirational, going to Farrell's like every single day, workout machine. So you put Carrie and Mark in the same house, there's some fire right there. So go Big Red.
I always forget that because Jeff and Nicole will talk about it every now and then of Carrie going in there. And she's, let's just say this, she sets a standard that they're not in there to mess around and have fun. They're in there to get some work done and to be a better athlete and a better person on the way out the door. And it's funny. I'll never forget. I had one class with her, and I remember I was like, "Who is this woman?" Like I'm in an age where I should be in much better shape. I should be kicking this bag 100 times before she even kicks it 5 times. And man, she kicked my butt in that workout. I looked behind me, and I didn't realize who it was at the time. But after they said, "Good job." And I was like, yeah, I was watching you, trying to keep up with you, and I was severely outclassed. So shout out to that family. It's no surprise that Mark Manning, and then, of course, the family, why that wrestling program is in such a good spot under that leadership. So with that being said, Chris Raff, appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. We got the Morning Pierce-Snell coming up next right here, 93.7 The Ticket.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations.